Welcome back to Crawford-Clark Close-Up and our month of horror reviews leading up to our retrospective of the Halloween franchise, which is celebrating its 40th anniversary atop the slasher genre with the release of a new instalment later this month. Before we get there though, we're taking a look first at the film that impressed film festival audiences so much that it was billed as the modern Exorcist, shocking and repulsing audiences in equal measure. It's Hereditary. Yes, that's how the film should be pronounced. The directorial debut from up-and-coming visionary Ari Aster. Shot in just 32 days, Hereditary is a marvel from start to finish, unsettling in tone due to brilliantly realised characters and a highly creepy atmosphere. Toni Collette leads the cast as Annie, the mother of the family who is struggling to come to terms with the loss of her own mother. The problem is that the spirit of her recently departed mother seems to linger on, not just within the walls of the large family house, with its wide open spaces and many dark corners, conveniently making for sumptuous cinematography and outstanding camera work, but also within the occupants of the house itself. Florida-born Millie Shapiro makes her feature film debut as the brilliant Charlie, Colette's young daughter, who seems to have had a strong connection to her late grandmother, and when she starts asking her mother who will look after her when her mother dies and continues to make unnerving ticking sounds, we immediately get a sense of unease from this young character. The first shock comes in the film's first act, where the action is shifted to the rest of the family, and the family suffer another close bereavement. The moment leading up to this is the first real shock moment of the film, and the great thing that Aster does, against type with the genre in the majority of modern horror, is to avoid the cliché of jump scares and loud music to evoke reaction. And it's a brilliant decision that makes the events of the narrative all the more effective. From the moment Colette's Annie is rooting through things in the attic room and suddenly sees the spirit of her mother looking at her from the corner of the room, to subtle changes in personality from Alex Wolff's young Peter. For Aster, it's clearly about scares that are emotionally justified as opposed to the now far too obvious loud jump scares. Composer Colin Stetson's unsettling score, accompanied by Paweł Pogorzelski's striking visuals, additionally creates a fascinating microcosm for these characters. Toni Collette gives quite simply an Oscar-worthy performance as the troubled mother, accepting loss and trying to tackle feelings of personal guilt and hopelessness, all the while putting her effort into her model miniatures, which go from being a hobby to being a full-time occupier of her time. What's refreshing about Hereditary, and something that the naysayers aren't really getting, is that this is a true exercise in patience and tension building. This isn't billed as a gory, blood-soaked film full of action, but it's no less effective for its slower tension building. When the shocking imagery does come, it's unlike anything you've seen. It should be praised for its own original merits, however, and not compared to classics like The Exorcist, which has already had decades to both shock and, in many respects, repel audiences. This is an incredible directorial debut that shows great promise for the future for an up-and-coming short writer and director of Aster's high quality. Here is a man who knows how to manipulate audiences into truly feeling the film and experiencing the pain that these characters go through, both emotionally and physically, alongside the protagonists, rather than watching from the sidelines. It doesn't hinder the film that when the shocks come, they are genuine, and there are images in this that will stay with this reviewer forever. Whatever you do, make sure you check out Hereditary. It's bound to become a classic of the genre, which already begs for repeat viewings due to its complexities and intricacies. From Crawford-Clark Close-Up, it is... Have you seen Hereditary? Are you a yay or nay for this directorial debut? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and please subscribe to Crawford-Clark Close-Up for more regular reviews. You can find us on Facebook and Twitter, and you can also email us your suggestions for future reviews and features on the channel to crawfordclarkcloseup@gmail.com. Join us in the next review, where we'll be taking a short break from the horror reviews to bring you our thoughts on Peter Capaldi's era in Doctor Who. After that, we'll be sharing our thoughts on Hideo Nakata's Ring and celebrating 50 years of Rosemary's Baby. For now, thanks for watching, and until next time, that's a wrap.